on, everyone? This is the Popcorn Hero Show. I am Armando. With me, as always, is Pedro.
Hello, hello.
And back for the first time, Mike.
Hey.
What up, dudes? Guys, last week we did our predictions / what we thought is going to happen /
Leaks.
rumors and leaks.
Yeah.
All the fucking leaks.
Yeah, we weren't that smart, you know.
We weren't.
I mean, we guessed some of them. We guessed some of them.
But now it's official. Phase 4 is official. There's about 5 movies, like 5 shows or some shit like that. Phase 4 is insane.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows. Right on the money. So 10 projects.
So Phase 4 is 2-year span, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's only 2 years, which is probably one of the shortest phases they've had in a few years now.
I think so.
How long was Phase 2?
I'm going to look at them right now.
They're usually like 3 years, at least 3 years.
Well, Phase 3 was the longest one they had. Phase 3 spanned like 4 years or some shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, Infinity War. Yeah.
Yeah, so Phase 3 was 4 years. It was from 16 to 19. Phase 2 was 3 years, from 13 to 15. And Phase 1 was the longest. It was from 2008 to 2012. So
Phase 1 was definitely the longest.
it's 5 years.
Because it did one movie per year.
Yeah. Phase 1 was 5 years, so that's the longest by far. All the other ones have been pretty short. So this one is the shortest.
Ever since Phase 3, they did 3 movies a year.
Yeah. Huge. So we got Phase 4 confirmed.
I like the 3 movies a year.
Yeah. Next year is only
not too little.
Yeah, next year's only going to be 2.
Two
you have
movies.
Eternals and Black Widow. And then but you have 3 shows next year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty huge.
Yeah, you got 2 movies next year and then 3 movies the year after.
Yeah. So 2 and 3. Just pretty cool. I mean, the movies are not that exciting. I'm not excited for Black Widow.
At all.
I'm not excited for Eternals.
Really? You know what? Okay, I'm very interested in. So right off
I'm
the
more
bat,
excited for the following you. Shang-Chi.
All right,
Mandarin coming back. I'm more excited for...
I'm not excited for Phase 4.
Let's go through the list. So Black Widow, May 1st, 2020. You guys aren't excited for that one?
Not even close.
And that's a summer blockbuster, too.
That's the one.
Yeah, that takes the summer slot.
Second least most excited for.
Second least most
Second
excited
least,
for.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty interested in this. Mainly because David Harbour's in it and Taskmaster is going to be the villain.
Just like Cap.
So I don't know if you saw the Comic-Con panel, but David Harbour's character is Alexei. That's his name. So everyone was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Alexei, of course.
After all that Stranger Things talk, everyone's like, "Oh no."
Was it Smirnoff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much he's Red Guardian, which is
I don't know who Red Guardian.
it's It's the Russian version of Captain America.
Okay.
So he came onto the panel with a Cap shirt.
There was one thing. Oh, never mind. There was one thing I was excited for, but it's not this. 2 things.
Oh, okay. Not this one?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
another project, though?
You should say it, man.
All right.
'Cause
I mean, no.
you might forget.
I mean, we'll go
I
through the
won't forget.
list.
Because we'll talk about that one at some point. I won't
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah, this one, I don't know. I saw the concept art where she's fighting Taskmaster, and I think the look is good. He's got the cloak look going on. So I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
The first weekend, I'm sure I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Marvel's got me for the long run.
But yeah, Marvel hasn't filmed it yet.
Right?
That to me is opening day, like every other Marvel movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Every Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So the next thing after that year, not an exact date, but it says fall of 2020, is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show on Disney Plus.
That's the one. I'm now hyped for it.
You're not hyped for that one,
No,
huh?
I said I'm now hyped for it.
Why are you hyped for it?
I
Why?
already know why.
Zemo.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
fuck?
yeah.
Zemo with the mask?
Zemo
You got
Black.
me.
You put a purple sock on him and you got me.
I'm fucking in now.
That's Mike's fetish right there.
Even though it has fucking Anthony Mackie and Striking Vipers.
Talking back, baby.
He's gonna.
Mike, we're playing.
I really didn't think there was anything they could do to get me excited for this show.
There you go.
But for him to pop up at Comic-Con like that?
Yeah. Yeah,
That
he
was pretty
hacked
cool.
he hacked the system and all that stuff. So
That
it was
was
pretty cool.
quote unquote.
And I actually thought, I mean, I know he's one of the most plainest villains, but he was pretty much the best villain. He was
He
the
was
only
the
one.
smartest villain.
I mean, aside from Thanos, he's the only one that actually totally broke them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the most successful. Yeah,
like
you're
like
right,
like he
other
broke
than
them
Thanos.
mentally, while Thanos broke them fucking physically.
And they didn't recover until what? Endgame?
Yeah.
Until Endgame, they didn't recover. So technically, he's the best villain
Yeah.
aside from Thanos. So it's gonna be interesting to see him here.
If they still
How
make
he-
him that level of a genius,
yeah, like
then
methodical.
So you
it'd be a
feel
really
he
good show.
survived the blip?
Yeah, because he got captured last we
Ooh,
checked.
That would be a good way for him to escape.
That's what I was thinking. He's there. The snap happens. Half the guards are gone, and he's like, "Well, time to do my escape
Yeah, let
plan."
me get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and then whoever else he frees, which they could do a lot because I'm sure there's a few Cap villains they can just bring out of the woodwork. Like there was that one that was in Winter Soldier that like practically had a cameo. The one that he fights on the ship. Can't remember which villain that was right now.
Crossbones?
No, this is Winter Soldier.
Oh,
Crossbones
the Leaper.
yes,
Bardock,
Bardock.
something like that. It
Yeah,
starts with
yeah.
The first guy he fights.
Bardock the Leaper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like a martial artist guy. Yeah, if they could kind of bring him back in there too, they can get some good fight scenes going on because they're definitely going for like AAA with these shows.
And I
so.
think what is like each of these shows are like 8 episodes about.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Damn,
Yeah.
not too long. Good job.
It's perfect, dude.
it really
and
is.
they all feel like miniseries. I don't think none of these are gonna come back. I think they're all just miniseries essentially.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. I think
Unless they're really popular. If they're crazy popular, they're gonna bring them back.
maybe, but I feel these are more of they don't want to waste a movie on setting up another movie, so they're just doing this.
Well, I mean, one of them is a setup to a movie.
Right, exactly. We'll get into that one. So next up on the list is actually Eternals, November 6th,
With
2020.
a huge cast.
Huge cast.
That movie has almost everybody in that shit.
So I don't know if you ever read anything of Eternals. I know
Nope.
last time we talked, we didn't. I actually started reading some of the old Jack Kirby shit. Let me tell you, that shit did not age well. But the concept is pretty cool. It's the Celestials came and pretty much experimented on the cavemen.
I've always wanted to get into it because they seem to be an important part of like Marvel lore or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's a lot.
So pretty much they created two different extra races. They created the Eternals, which are supposed to be like the super soldiers, like the best.
Yeah.
And they created the Deviants, which
That's
are
what
the more
Deviants.
ugly ones. So the way the comic kind of makes it seem like the reason why people have like that ongoing symbols of like devils and monsters and shit like that, vampires and all that is because of the Deviants. That's how they look,
Yeah.
and they're also immortal.
I think is Thanos a
Yeah, Thanos
deviant?
is a deviant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Okay.
So that's how they all throw into that. So I'm excited to see how they're gonna do this because there's a lot to go with, and I almost feel like me and Armando almost feel this is like a backdoor pilot to like the X-Men, to the mutants. Like from there you can kind of
Best
go
way
with
to introduce them.
yeah,
At least the concept of how they
right
come about.
right the concept of enhanced people.
Makes
It's a
sense.
possibility. I don't
It
know
is
if that'll really
possible.
happen, but
It's
it'd
a
be kind of cool.
possibility. So who's the cast, man? Because
So you got
It's just
Richard.
massive.
Yeah, it's huge. So you got Richard Madden, which is Rob Stark.
Richard Madden's in it. Fuck.
yeah,
Yeah, Rob Stark, and
All
he's
right, you got me
gonna
with one.
be Icarus, which is the main character of the Eternals. And then you got Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina
you
Jolie.
didn't know that?
I haven't been paying. If I see
Oh,
an Eternals
whoa.
article, I skip it.
Oh,
no
you didn't-
way. Shit. All right, read the cast then. 'cause
Yeah,
it probably
so
might get some
Angelina
shit.
Jolie, she plays as Thena, which I don't know.
Angelina Jolie is in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And you got Salma Hayek as Ajax.
Okay, that one I did see because
Yeah.
there was an article about her being,
Which
the
is
first
funny 'cause-
Mexican-
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm reading it. So it seems like what they're going for is that each of these Eternals is like a different race of people. Like they were all on different continents, and they're
Okay.
the immortals from
Like
there.
a god from each.
Yeah,
continent.
exactly. The god from that time. So I guess with Icarus, that's more of like the god of the sun from like Greek mythology.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, that type of look. While Salma Hayek's supposed to be,
Aztec.
the Aztec type heroes. Then you got Kumail Nanjiani.
I feel like you're butchering that, but okay.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Come in,
Who's that?
Nanjiani.
You never seen Silicon Valley?
No,
He's the Pakistan. You've seen him. He was in Stuber.
You seen Stuber?
the driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna watch that movie.
Look at
That's
myself.
terrible.
I mean, you really don't have to watch the movie. I heard it was terrible, but that's him. He's like up and coming. He's like everywhere. He won
His
an Oscar
movie
for
was
like
really
Big
good.
Sick.
The Big Sick.
Yeah.
The Big Sick was really good.
I've seen him in something. I feel like maybe I'm just thinking of the Stuber.
He's in a lot of stuff now.
Yeah, he's
but,
in a lot of stuff.
But yeah, he's the character Kingo.
He was. You seen Men in Black?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Which I'm actually very confused about because according to his biography, the character Kingo's biography, he's learning the way of the Japanese samurai, skilled swordsman. I think they're gonna change that because they would not have this guy be. Yeah, no. And then you have, I don't know who she is, so I'm skipping her.
Who is she? What's her name?
Lauren Ridloff. Exactly.
Never heard of her.
She's the one that's deaf.
Okay.
She was in Walking Dead, apparently. She was a deaf character in Walking Dead.
Cool.
Yeah.
The show I stopped watching a long time ago.
What's up? You see? That's why I skipped her.
I can't remember.
And then you got Brian Tyree Henry.
You know who that is,
That
right?
apparently Armando's got a hard on for.
Alana. He's the main character. What's his name?
He's the voice of Miles Morales' dad, too.
God, what's his
He's
name?
in there.
What's his name?
Paperboy.
Paperboy. Yeah.
Shit,
Paperboy is in
this
this movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's coming out too. He's starting
he's
doing a lot of
doing
shit
a
too.
lot of shit. He's in Chucky.
So he's one of the
Damn.
Eternals.
Atlanta. Was he doing stuff before Atlanta?
No. He was doing like theater or something like that.
Oh, you're right. Damn, he got taken off.
He got big, dude. Atlanta blew him up. He's
Yeah.
such a good actor, though.
He is though. He's really good.
He's such a good actor.
So he's.
So I'm glad he's in this, dude.
Yeah, yeah. It's a pretty big cast.
It's a
He's in
big
it,
cast.
and you got. I actually don't know who this lady is. Oh, that's where I've seen him. So Don Lee. Is that his name? Wait.
Don Lee.
Yeah, I wonder why. So it
Yeah.
says his name is Don Lee, but when you open up his wiki page, he's got a whole other name.
That's
So I guess Don Lee is the name he chose to start doing American movies. But I saw him in Train to Busan, which is this Korean zombie movie.
I saw. That was a really
Oh,
good movie.
shit.
Yeah.
Which one
so,
is he?
So he was the buff one, the super buff dude that
remember.
was like throwing the zombies around and like punching them.
Oh, the guy who had the girl pregnant?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
him. So he is one of the Eternals. He's Gilgamesh.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, he looks so familiar. Train to
That was a really good
Busan.
movie.
Yeah, that was
I
great.
like that movie.
And then you have, she doesn't even have
He went out like a boy, like a man, dude.
Yeah.
like a badass. And then they got this little girl, like an up and coming little girl to play as Sprite.
Yeah, I don't know any of the Eternals.
Yeah,
I
me
don't know
neither.
these
So
people.
Sprite is a trickster, kind of like a Loki type person.
They always have to have those.
Yeah. So I feel like all of these characters are archetypes for what every religion kind of used for gods, and that's kind of where like these immortal people like inspired that in humans. So they're there.
I'm
from
very
the beginning.
curious how this fits into the larger world of
Yeah,
the MCU.
I'm really curious because these are practically the new gods because they're written by Jack Kirby, and then
So it's like their answers to the new gods.
yeah, because he wrote the new gods for Fourth World for DC, but I think they didn't give him enough creative power near the end, so he quit DC and he joined Marvel. And when he joined Marvel, he created this. So this
The
is
new
like
gods are still kind of more recognizable though. Than
yeah. No,
the
definitely.
Eternals.
Because I looked up the Eternals and they really only come out in like crossover events. Like
They
they
don't
really,
really impact anything.
yeah. So hopefully this makes them popular, kind of
But-
like how the Guardians movie made the Guardians
Yeah.
popular everywhere
There has
else.
to be a reason why Feige's using them.
Yeah,
He would do whatever he wants at this point.
Yeah, at this point, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but there's always a method to his madness, you
True.
know? There's always a reason for it. So there has to
Yeah.
be something that he's introducing with them.
so this one to me is the one with like the most unknowns where I really don't know much.
And he's
about
also
it.
beating DC to the punch.
Yeah, because DC's doing their new gods.
The new gods.
DC's doing new gods.
Yeah, with
DC, they're not in a position to take these kind of risks.
with the lady who did A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah,
Ava DuVernay.
Ooh, the lady
Duvernay.
who did
Selma.
When They
What
See
was it,
Us.
Selma?
Selma
Yeah, When They See
and
Us.
When They
Yeah.
See Us.
She
Yep.
did Selma too.
Mhm.
She's good.
Yeah.
But Wrinkle in Time was a garbage.
Yeah, but you know, she didn't write it. She just directed it. So
But still, dude.
for all I know, maybe it was filmed well and everything else was shit. I never saw it.
That movie was garbage. Everything about it was garbage. The story was garbage.
So-
The filming was garbage. Everything was garbage about it.
So you
Damn.
think Eternals is gonna beat New Gods?
Yeah, absolutely.
MCU, dude.
If you ask me if a Marvel movie is gonna be a
Yeah.
DC movie,
Yeah,
Right.
hands down.
yeah, every time.
I wouldn't even hesitate.
So after Eternals, after that we go into 2021, February 12th, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
That's the one I'm least excited for.
Really? Why?
He's
I
I
could
thought-
care less about Shang-Chi. I'm
thought-
curious about Mandarin.
I am very interested in seeing how they're gonna retcon Mandarin. I know they've been sprinkling it in there.
But yeah, Mandarin's been there since the beginning, though.
Yeah.
Right. And they even showed some cool little scenes where they actually showed that there were 10 Rings people in almost every movie. Like even in Ant-Man, there's like a guy that has it on his neck, like a neck tattoo that you can barely see it. You just have to kind of like pause it and look at it. So Kevin Feige was like, yep, they were always there, just waiting to emerge. So even he's trying to like fix the problem that, you know, the Iron Man 3 Mandarin reveal like fucked up.
They didn't fuck it up. It was great.
No, man.
Anywho,
So this movie, he's pretty much like an unknown playing as Shang-Chi.
Well, he was in a show called Kim's Conveniences.
Kim's Conveniences, never heard of it.
Practically.
It's on Netflix. It's pretty big in Canada.
In Canada.
Yeah. But they got Tony Leung as the Mandarin, and he's a very popular Chinese actor.
Yeah.
Like, he was in Infernal Affairs, which ended up being like The Departed and all that. He was in Hard Boiled, Hero. So he's in a lot of big ones. So they picked a pretty big Chinese actor to be the Mandarin.
Yeah, they did.
And of course, they got Awkwafina in it because she's in everything Asian related that's American. So
Well,
Who is Awkwafina? Who is she? What does she do?
She was-
YouTube person who was doing comedy on YouTube.
no, but she was also a rapper.
Yeah, YouTube.
Oh yeah.
So she used to do like joke rap songs.
Oh yeah, I
about
see it
stupid
here.
Shit.
She did a song called My Vag.
Yeah. So that got her popular
Oh.
within the YouTube community, and then she started doing like small appearances in TV shows, and then slowly she started building up her stuff, and then she ended up being like the major sidekick in a lot of big movies, i.e., Crazy Rich Asians.
I
Right.
didn't see that one.
And then after
It's
Crazy
good.
Rich Asians, she started doing more small part, like other bigger small
I
parts.
just remember her in what's that movie? Oceans.
Yeah, she was in Oceans.
She was there. A side character, small part in the big movie.
Yeah.
And then she did what recently is The Farewell. Apparently, is doing this amazing movie.
Oh yeah. She's getting like
And
a lot
she's
of
the main actress in that one. It's a drama movie.
but that's like a pure drama. Yeah. But I'm actually excited for this because I already told you before that I want to see what the Iron Fist fights should have been on here.
yeah,
Oh, you did say
And-
that.
yeah.
I definitely want to see that, and I want to see where they're gonna go with this 10 Rings thing with Mandarin.
Yeah.
So
I really want to see that
Yeah, I'm excited.
because he
rather
has
see-
rings of power.
I'd rather see Mandarin fight Iron Man.
Yeah, we will never see that now.
Who knows?
Not Tony Stark. Maybe in the What If series, which we'll get to in a minute. Okay, so after that, we're gonna have. I don't know which one's first because the WandaVision show says spring of 2021. So we'll just go with that one being first.
WandaVision comes before,
Oh yes, you're right. So that one's definitely gonna be first.
so it has to be first.
So this is pretty much they're not really explaining it, but they're kind of saying that it's going to be a very trippy show, somewhat like Legion. That it's very like you don't know what's going on. I'm guessing it's her going through like a breakdown because of Vision and
Yeah.
manifesting all kinds of shit. But they keep saying that it's going to be a lead-in, a prequel into Doctor Strange.
It's Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, because she's going to be in it.
What is it? Madness something?
It's called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That one has a main.
What a great title.
Yeah.
That is.
That's a May 7th start. So it's probably going to be this show and then
Yeah.
going into the movie.
Yeah.
So the show will probably end on a cliffhanger. Like something, she gets stuck in the multiverse. I have no idea.
Or she creates.
Or she creates it.
I don't know. Who knows?
But yeah, I'm interested in to see if they're going to make her like as powerful as she should be.
I think they are. I think they're gonna let her loose. I
Like-
think that's what this show is gonna be about, letting her loose.
Yeah, I hope
I don't think
so.
they're gonna let her loose, but
No,
I'm
I
pretty sure
think
she's
they
gonna
are.
have more power than they gave her in the movies.
They're gonna let her loose.
She
Like-
doesn't do any reality bending stuff in the movies.
And I think that's what
No,
she's gonna
but
do in
but
here.
I got a feeling this is what she's going to do
Yeah.
here.
I think that's the whole setup of the show is gonna set her up, letting
Yeah.
loose, like creating Vision from her memory.
Right,
Like,
she's going to recreate Vision, probably like a
Okay.
flawed version of him or whatever.
yeah.
I'm
Or like
excited to
create a
see.
reality where her and Vision are happy together, and nothing and Thanos never happened or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And that's probably where the 50s idea comes from.
Right, yeah, because they keep saying that there's some type of 50s type setting. Even when they called them in for the panel for WandaVision, they had like this 50s I Love Lucy type music play when they called them in. And I'm just like, what the fuck's with this music?
Yeah.
So they're probably doing something like that.
Yeah, or have a vibe to like a 50s
Yeah.
vibe.
So that's
to it.
this is obviously going to be a mini series. It's just going to be that.
Yeah.
And then I can guarantee this one's not going to have a season 2 that's like that. This is just a segue into Doctor Strange. So we're going to have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and they say this is going to be the first like gothic horror like Marvel movie where they're actually going to get into it and make it scary. Supposedly,
They do say that Doctor Strange is the only person who was able to stop Wanda when she
Disney
was going
bought Fox,
crazy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything about New Mutants.
no,
No.
That movie's never fucking coming out.
yeah, they keep saying it will.
It'll probably be a Disney Plus movie.
One of the writers of the comics, I can't remember who it was right now. He says that he's excited to see it come out because he thinks it's good. And I'm just
Okay,
like,
yeah.
you're probably the only one, bro.
Yeah, buddy. That's a cool story for you, man.
I'm excited to see Doctor Strange to see if they're gonna like start introducing more like the weird shit that he would do. I mean, I know it was visually trippy the first one, but like Shuma Gorath was like one of the weird like Cthulhu type creatures.
Yeah, he goes against.
Especially if they go multiverse wise, they could just do anything.
They could do anything they want in multiverse.
Yeah,
This is probably the one I'm most excited for. Not probably. It's definitely the one I'm most excited
yeah.
for.
When you look at polls, this is the one everyone's most excited for, and Black Widow's the one that people are least excited for. If you look at all the polls,
it's because this movie introduces the multiverse, dude. And
yeah,
so
like the real one.
Of
That was actually how Kevin Feige introduced it. He's like, I know Beck said, I know that Beck lied about the multiverse, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't really exist. And that's when he introduced this movie, and everyone was like, "Whoa, shit!"
It's so many possibilities, man. Anything could happen. You could pick anybody off
the
a
multiverse
timeline.
has to exist just from how they discuss timelines in
You're right.
Endgame.
You're right.
So the multiverse exists.
Absolutely. The directors don't know what the fuck they're talking about because they said no, it's a singular timeline. It's like no,
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't
by
make
your
sense.
very definition.
by your very That's why when the writer said, "Yeah, I'm gonna trust the writers because they fucking wrote it."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all said and done. Mm-hmm. Also, in spring of 2021, we're gonna have the Loki show on Disney Plus.
That's definitely something I'm not excited for.
I'm interested in seeing where they're gonna go because setting wise, I don't know what they're gonna do.
The thing is that they're reverting Loki back. He has no character development.
Right, that's exactly what they were saying. That it's gonna be a totally different Loki. He's not gonna have like the compassion that he had like in Ragnarok because he felt like that because in part 2, that's when his mom died. So this is all pre that.
Yeah. This is end of Avengers.
This is him literally exactly after the first Avengers when he was still, they did the canon explanation of why he was so villainous was because he was mind controlled. So maybe he isn't that villainous either, but he doesn't have the same character development.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to be traveling through all kinds of shit. I think they're going to go through that. I know you and me talked about it. They're going to go through that journey into mystery type vibe where he just goes to all the different dimensions and shit and just causes havoc.
Though. That's the route they're going to take with that.
Yeah, I'm interested in see how they're going to go with this because I have no idea. I haven't really heard much. I heard he's just going to be traveling through time and causing things. Like big events in history, it would be because of him. But I don't know.
That'd be pretty funny.
That's just like a theory, though. I mean, that's every episode of Doctor Who, if you think about it. So it's like, it's just going to be Marvel Doctor Who. I don't know. And then summer of 2021, we're going to have the What If show, which is officially going to be animated show. And they're going to bring back everybody for the voices. So that way they can get Robert Downey back, Chris Evans back. They can get everyone back.
If it's animated, I'm down.
Yeah.
If it wasn't animated, that doesn't seem possible.
Yeah. And it's going to be, so it's going to have Jeffrey Wright from, from Westworld. Bernard from Westworld. He's going to be
Westworld, Mike?
Yeah, of course you've seen Westworld.
Westworld, what's that?
Yeah. So he's going to play as the Watcher. So it's going to be him narrating it. I guess kind of like a Tales from the Crypt type thing.
He's a good narrator.
Yeah, definitely.
He has a good voice.
So they kind of make it seem like it's just him, watching all the universes, and I guess he's just going to happen to look at one and just tell the story of like what he saw. And that'll be.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, so each episode is going to be a different thing. I really like the idea for that. Yeah. And they can get as creative as they want because it's animated. You don't got to worry about budget or none of that shit.
Yeah.
Unless the animation sucks.
Right. I hope it doesn't. But if it's anything like...
I feel like it's not going to be the highest quality animation. I don't think they worry about that anymore.
If they can at least make it at Castlevania level, I'll be okay.
What about Cal Arts?
Castlevania level is pretty high.
It's really good. No, fuck Cal Arts. If it's Cal Arts, fuck that shit.
It's going to be like, what was that Spider-Man show?
Oh my God.
Which one?
The one before the most recent one. Are they coming out with a new Spider-Man show?
I think there is.
Probably are. So the one before Ultimate? You're talking
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spectacular was very like Nickelodeon-ish.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to go that route. Maybe not as...
Damn, I hope they don't. Fuck.
But they said they did that for Spectacular Spider-Man so they could make like the scenes crazier. So I feel like they'll probably do that with this one too.
Well, we'll see. I'm curious to see what route they're gonna go with, though. I
Anime
almost
style?
feel like they're gonna go more anime. No,
Like the Voltron.
Oh.
Have you guys seen Voltron? That show is so fucking. You guys gotta watch it.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to
I saw
watch
the
it.
first 2 seasons. It's really good.
The series is complete now, but it's really good.
With
I saw
like
the-
6 seasons.
It gets, I think maybe like 5,
Yeah.
6, 7 seasons.
It's animated, but the mech parts is actually
It might be
CG.
8 seasons actually.
Damn.
That shit was so fucking good.
The seasons are short though.
What do you think? Something like that? Anime?
No, I don't think it's going. I definitely don't think it's going to be Voltron.
I don't think it's gonna go like that, but it'd be cool.
I would definitely be down for that.
Yeah.
I think it has to be something like that.
Nah.
I don't think
Well,
they're gonna.
Well, either way, with Jeffrey Wright, voicing it,
I'm here for the show.
and all the other voice actors coming back to reprise their roles, I'm totally down for it.
Yeah.
And later that year, on November 5th, 2021, we have Thor: Love and Thunder, which seems to me like it's gonna be Jason Aaron's run. I don't know if you saw the panel.
I didn't see the panel.
Damn, you gotta tell them about it. Pedro.
Damn, I gotta tell you. So Jane Foster's coming back.
Well, I read the
Yeah.
article that Jane Foster's coming back and she's going to be
She's gonna be Thor.
Thor.
Lady Thor.
Or Mighty Thor is what he's saying.
Mighty Thor.
Yeah. So that Thor's going to revert back to Odinson. I wonder if they're going to go the arm cut off route.
Oh, you're right.
That one was
is
good.
That is what started. No, his run was before that, but
His run was before it, but he just did a quick story with the God Butcher, and then he went into the
Yeah.
Jane Foster, which is really good because that was when she had cancer. And
you think they're gonna go the cancer route?
Definitely.
they have
They
to.
have to, dude.
They have to go the cancer route because how else is she going to be worthy? You know, there has to be some moment.
You think they're still gonna? Well, I mean, everyone knows that she's Thor, so they're not gonna because in the comics it was a big thing of who's Thor.
Yeah,
at this point, everybody knows.
Yeah, for the longest time, you were like, is it a Lady Sif? Because they didn't reveal her face for like the first 10 issues. For
Yeah.
almost the first year, you didn't know who.
Yeah, I think it
she
was the first year that you did it.
Yeah, you didn't know. And then finally she takes off her helmet one day and you're like, oh shit.
And no one thought. Well, I mean, people thought it was her, but the whole cancer thing made it seem like how could she be
How could
Thor?
she? She's so weak, but yeah.
But
They have to go that route. And I think it would be fucking awesome.
and she's the actress to pull it off.
Yeah. I always said I would love for them to do the Jane Foster Thor, but they would never bring Natalie Portman back. And then I saw this and I'm like, well, never mind. Money fucking talks.
I
man.
didn't think
She talked
I didn't
so
think
much
she would
shit.
come. Exactly, I didn't think she would come back. And
To
do
be
it.
fair, her talking shit was valid because her character was nothing. Her
Yeah.
character was, and she's talking shit about the first 2 movies, which in hindsight, a lot of people are looking back like, yeah,
I like Thor 1 though. Thor
they're
2
both
garbage.
great movies.
Yeah. No, I like them both, but Ragnarok was like
Amazing.
where they steered it in a whole other direction.
Yeah,
They made it pure comedy, but that was one of the things I didn't like. But still, they look like they had fun with it, and this one looks like it's going to be the same because of
I'm
the
sure
logo.
they're gonna go back. They're still gonna go in that direction. Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how they're gonna do with this. And I know a lot of people, of course, that don't know shit about the comics are like, oh, they're making Thor a girl, and I'm like, you guys don't know. They're like Thor at the same fucking time, essentially, and they're both needed
Yeah.
because he's doing his adventures on one end, she's doing it on the other, and
I'd like to see how they tie it in, but this is the one I'm second most excited for.
What I'm curious about, and I told Pedro about this, is how does Thor? What happens to Thor? Because at the end of Endgame, he's off with the Guardians. Guardians doesn't come out this in Phase 4.
And they confirmed this movie timeline wise is before Guardians Volume 3. So I think the Guardians are gonna make a quick cameo in the beginning.
Before
Before Guardians 3.
What was the last Guardians? 2, right?
2.
Yeah.
It would have to be before 3 then.
Yeah, this one is before 3.
Yeah.
No, but what I mean is at the end of Endgame, he's rolling with the Guardians, and then suddenly Thor gets his own movie. So it's like, what happened with him when the Guardians?
Did the Guardians just drop him off?
Because
Like,
we all
"There, bro."
assumed he was gonna come out on Guardians Volume 3 first before
Yeah.
he gets his own movie.
Oh, gotcha.
So now we're like, oh shit, the Thor movie is coming out before Guardians, and
Yeah.
timeline wise, it's gonna take place before it.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna get his Guardians.
Guardians,
as
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, he's not gonna get his Guardians debut. So I think he was just hitching a ride with the Guardians, and then this movie's gonna start off with him being dropped off. Maybe a Guardians cameo,
Gotcha. That makes sense.
which is interesting because I thought for sure he was gonna be part of the crew for 3.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Just
That
them
would've
saying
been fun.
as Guardians of the Galaxy, they made it seem like he's
Yeah.
with
Would've
them
been
now.
fun.
but no, I guess not. And after that, we have the last thing on their menu. It's the fall of 2021, the Hawkeye show.
I'm excited for that one too.
But
curious.
you know, he's not the main character.
No, but he's in it.
Yeah, it's him essentially training Kate Bishop, and Kate Bishop is the main character of the show.
They're saying that they're copying the comic
I would
Hawkeye
hope so.
comic.
The comic
Right.
was so good.
because they have the exact same font.
Yeah, it does. It's exactly the same. You're right.
So they're copying.
And
it for
there
sure.
was a nickname for the comic. They just called it Hawk Guy because of how like fucking chill and laid back he
Yeah.
was, and it was like he became a street hero. And his
I don't know
series
if
was
it
great.
translates as well to a show from the comic, but
I mean, they could still try it.
it was really good. The comic was really good.
Yeah,
What happens in the comic? What was the?
it's him doing street level, like he fights like gangs and shit.
He owns
Like-
an apartment building. People trying to attack the apartment building.
Yeah, he owed people rent. You know, like he's broke. Goes to the hospital. Like
He
gets
gets a
fucked up.
dog.
He
Those
gets
are
a
really
dog.
good.
That's right. He gets
That
a dog.
one
in-
issue
in-
where it was like from the dog's point of view.
yeah,
So good.
he calls a dog like pizza or something. I forgot what he
don't
names
know the
him.
dog's name. You should read it. It was really
So
good.
so how does the daughter get introduced into that comic?
She's not his daughter in the comics, right? Kate
don't-
Bishop isn't his daughter. She's just his protege.
Protege, yeah,
So they're
something like that. Yeah,
And it starts. She doesn't. I don't know if they've. I'd never read Hawkeye before, so I guess when it starts, they have like tension. So I don't know how
Yeah,
if
'cause
that's
he's-
going to translate.
yeah, because he's living by himself in like a fucked up New York apartment.
Apparently, this show's is going to. What is that word? They're going to kind of go over what happened during his days as
As
what is it?
Ronin?
Ronin.
Yeah.
And they're saying,
ooh, this could be aftermath for what he did.
yeah, and then the girl gets in trouble and stuff like that, and then he starts showing her the ropes essentially.
So,
I think that's how it all
so they're
starts.
making Kate Bishop a troublemaker.
I think so.
Hmm.
I think so.
I'm here for it.
I'm interested. I'm trying to remember how old she was.
Well, she was old. Because if you think about
She was older because she didn't.
remember she didn't. Oh, she blipped.
She blipped, so she's the same
shit.
age. So she doesn't do the. She's not Ant-Man's daughter that aged 5 years. So
That's what I was thinking of.
I think
Yeah.
she was like 16 or 17 to be honest. with
Maybe.
you. She was
I
already older.
I can't remember.
She was the oldest one out of all. Remember, he was already teaching her.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
And at the
And he
beginning,
said, "Hey,
of
Hawkeye,"
Endgame.
and he even did like the nickname for her
Is
and
it going to be
everything.
same character?
Yeah,
Same
I
girl?
think.
I
Who
don't know.
knows?
I don't know how far they plan these things because now you're going to use these same people.
But
they got to be more
but think about
athletic,
it.
More.
This also comes out fall of 2021. That's in another 3 years. She's gonna get a huge growth spurt. She'll look.
What 2021? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
she'll look
She'll-
like.
she'll
She,
look
she
more
has
like
a
the
year.
part.
She has a year of growth
Right.
left.
Yeah, because
Before
in
they
my
start filming.
in my mind, I'm thinking if they filmed it right now, but they're not gonna film it right now. They're gonna film it months before the release.
What's going to film right now is Eternals
Yes,
and the show.
and in the Falcon, yeah,
Yeah, Falcon. Those are the only ones that are filming
that's
right
it.
now.
Yeah, Shang-Chi, they just casted the guy,
Yeah.
so they haven't even started filming Shang-Chi.
Because Black Widow's like close to done or almost done filming.
And-
Eternals is just beginning production.
And for WandaVision, they asked Paul Bettany, they're like, hey, last time we saw Vision, you know, and he's like, yeah, man, I haven't even read the script. I don't know. And he's like, as far as I know, I got my stone like pulled out of my head and I'm dead. So they haven't filmed it either. So that's it for Phase 4. How do you guys feel about it? Just
I mean,
4.
it looks fun. It's different.
It's experimental.
It's very, very experimental.
And they could afford it, honestly.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. They have enough clout.
Because Phase 5 is going to be their safe bet. So let's say this one happens to be like, oh, shit. The Eternals didn't make money. No one gave a shit about Shang-Chi. You know, all these other shit flopped. Fuck it. Phase 5 has all the sequels and all the favorites. So.
I got faith. I think
Well-
Ant-Man proved that they can do what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. But Ant-Man is one of their lowest box office.
Right, but it's still their lowest box office. It's still good box office.
Well,
Yeah.
like 600 million?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, for
Dude.
MCU, it's not looking good. But for anybody
It was
else, that's a
looking-
lot of money.
It was looking good before.
600.
It's just that now they're just everything is you get a billion, you get a billion.
Right.
Yeah. They've
Dude,
been hitting-
When the
600
first
million.
Ant-Man came out, 600 million was still a lot for them.
Yeah.
At least for such an
It's-
untested character.
It's the lowest box office they've had though, out of all MCUs.
Yeah.
It's
So
Ant-Man and the Wasp was the lowest one.
after this, Kevin Feige was like, all right, you know, I know you know the rumors. He pretty much said that, yeah, we got a Fantastic Four in the works. We got Black Panther 2 in the works.
I can't
Guardians
believe
3.
Black Panther 2 is not in Phase 4. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Actually, I take it back. The Incredible Hulk is the lowest box office they've had.
Right, but
But
a
that
lot
was that the first one? Or was
That's the second one.
that was after Iron Man?
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay.
after Iron Man.
So it is
It
Incredible.
was months after Iron Man. It was in the same year.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. They were both in 08.
So it's
They were back to
Incredible Hulk, Captain America, First Avenger, Ant-Man,
So trash.
Thor the Dark World, and then Ant-Man the Wasp.
So you went from worst to
Yeah,
highest.
those are their
The worst ones.
lowest.
So you see?
From lowest to highest.
Huh?
So yeah, Ant-Man wasn't. It's not that far down on there.
Ant-Man's fine.
Yeah, it beat itself, which is the important part.
All these movies are fine.
Yeah. But
So-
no Black Panther and no Avengers in
For Phase 4, right. Yeah.
That's stupid.
None of the big ones.
No big thing, no big hitters.
I wish there was something that I could do to show them that I don't support this, but I'm gonna watch everything.
Especially with the
So
way
it
they
makes no
ended it.
sense.
I know the way they ended it was Phase 5, but they brought out Mahershala Ali.
Well, fucking the biggest announcement.
That's amazing, dude.
And then they said, yeah, Phase 5.
I mean, okay, that's understandable.
Blade,
That's not
baby.
Phase 4.
Of course.
That's so amazing, though.
Because that's a whole other mythology you got to try and squeeze in there.
He's such a perfect cast for that shit.
So I wonder,
Yes.
I almost wonder if the Eternals deviance is going to be a way for them to explain how vampires are.
Probably. Maybe they created the vampires.
Right, like a form of deviant that you just evolved over time is a vampire. I guess that's one way for them to segue
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah. It looks good.
Because they always have to scientifically explain something. And if not, you go the Doctor Strange route where you just go
It's magic.
the magic, yeah.
Yeah.
So you go to the two extremes.
Yeah. So I'm excited for Mahershala being Blade. I think he's a perfect cast for that. Like, if you think about it, he's such a great actor. He definitely could pull it off.
Has he done any physical movies?
No, I was just talking to my dad about that. And
I thought he was gonna do it with Moonlight, but
I thought he was gonna do it.
that didn't happen.
I thought he was gonna fight in Alita, and he
Well,
didn't.
remember that we also haven't seen True Detective, so we don't know how he is in that.
Nah, he's not physical in fucking
I
True
don't.
Detective.
Do you know? Have you seen it, Pedro?
No, I
You
haven't.
can't say that then.
I've seen trailers, and he's an old man for 90% of the show. It seems like.
Yeah, but he has flashbacks to his past.
No, I guess
I don't think he's that physical.
he ain't physical.
He was Cottonmouth.
Man,
Cottonmouth wasn't physical.
do you think Mahershala will be able to pull off one of the best Wesley Snipes lines? Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah, for sure.
Is he gonna be as good at
At
the
that-
one-liners as Wesley?
I think he'll be better than Wesley.
Do you remember Blade 2?
I could see Mahershala being Blade right now.
I'd be very interested to see if they can pull off a hard R.
And that's
with these
the only
movies.
part that scares me here. Are they gonna go R for Blade?
They have to, though. It's literally a movie about blood everywhere.
but that's what scares me. I don't know if they're gonna PG-13
They have
it.
to. I mean, they can, but they can't.
Yeah, it's like Deadpool. Deadpool has to be
Yeah.
rated R.
Yeah. But even
But
so,
if it's rated R, does it? I mean, the rated R stuff isn't gonna really be part of the MCU. I mean, it's part of the MCU, but
well, this
it's harder
is,
to make them connect.
Yeah,
Like, how you gonna have Blade in Avengers
I don't
if
think
he's
that'll ever
cutting
happen. Though.
people's heads off?
I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think you'll see Blade in Avengers.
Maybe I guess the R stuff will be its own thing.
It's like I don't see Deadpool in Avengers either. Maybe he'll cameo or something, but I don't think.
I think
he'll
now
be
that
like-
they have X-Men, they're gonna do more with that.
I think
with
Deadpool will be.
They're-
I think they'll go to Deadpool. Hey, Deadpool, we need your help. We need help with that up there, and he'll go up beside him and be like, "Hey, you guys kind of that." You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be a Deadpool cameo.
he's
or something.
definitely Deadpool and Blade are definitely going to be part of the MCU. They'll just be rated R in their own movies. And if they ever do a team
I feel
up,
like with
it'll be
Deadpool-
something where it won't show violence.
I feel like Deadpool's easier for them to integrate with everyone else because he's still like this wild, zany, wacky character.
Right.
And he already has that door halfway open with the X-Men, so it's easy for them to put him with them or whatever.
Yeah.
But Blade doesn't really mesh well with anyone else.
Nobody.
It's like the most gritty person they'll
Yeah.
have now.
Yeah.
And it's so out there too. All he deals with is vampires. Like,
Yeah.
The only thing he can kind of make sense with
And it's killing vampires.
would be Doctor Strange.
so in the comics, what happens with him?
He doesn't really come out that much. He only comes out in crossovers.
Yeah.
What happens in the crossovers?
He teamed up with Punisher, I guess, where they started killing vamps together.
That's cool.
He's like Punisher. He's just killing vampires.
He always teams up with street people though.
Like Daredevil and shit like that.
Daredevil, Spider-Man.
Did he team up with Spider-Man? I don't even remember the last time he was in the comics.
I can't remember either.
They brought him back for a little bit because they brought back Mobius, and Mobius brought back the
Dracula?
vampires. And I remember Namor got like turned. Oh,
I don't-
Jubilee got turned into a vampire at one point, and that's where they brought
I think
Blade
she's
in.
still a vampire.
Well, I don't know because Jonathan Hickman redid,
Oh.
X-Men, so who knows? He probably wrote that shit off.
Nah,
But
Jubilee's
yeah,
been a vampire for a
I
while,
do agree that Blade's gonna be the toughest one to integrate into everything. But as long as they do like,
I just don't, for me, I prefer them not to even integrate him. Just
he needs
have
to
a
be,
backstory into his world, like you said, maybe through the Eternals. But other than that, I don't
Right,
want him to mess with
But you
anybody.
agree he needs to be connected to the MCU.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Okay,
but
then.
I don't want him to be integrated to any of
So
their-
you want it like Netflix show style?
Yes, that's what you want.
Not necessarily, because Netflix shows were nothing to the MCU.
No, but they referenced it like Sokovia.
Yeah, but
they
not-
meant
They
But-
were in quote unquote
Yeah.
in the MCU.
Yeah, but not vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I want there to be a vice versa, but not to be like I don't want Blade to be next to Captain Marvel and shit.
Vice
like that,
versa
you know?
was harder to do because they are so street level, and the MCU is dealing with
so
major events.
right. So street level, I guess, is Shang-Chi. So maybe he could run into Shang-Chi somehow, because that's the only other street level person here,
Spider-Man.
aside from Spidey.
He's not street level anymore. He's one
Yeah.
tier above street level at this point.
You're right.
He's an international man of mystery now.
So what do you think about?
Yeah. Spidey is essentially Spider-Man Agent of Shield. Like at this
Yeah.
point,
So if you think about it, they're gonna do Mobius and Sony. You think there's a potential crossover?
man,
here?
fuck Sony.
I would hope not.
I would fucking hope not, man.
The
fuck
only crossover I
Sony.
want is actually I don't even want to see the crossover. I just want them to take Venom away from Sony.
Take him away. Don't.
It's never gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
It
Ever.
won't, because unfortunately a lot of motherfuckers saw that movie. But
Yeah.
I don't want to see Tom Hardy's Venom in this shit.
Nah, I don't want them. Anything Sony's doing
And
over there.
I
Just
definitely
keep it
don't
on
want
your
to see
side.
Jared Leto's Mobius in this shit either.
You don't want to see Blade killing Jared Leto?
No.
Mahershala
watch that.
killing him, dude?
I'd watch that.
Yeah, but then that would also mean they're tied in, and I don't want them to tie
Nah,
in.
it's not worth it.
Exactly. It's not worth the continuity implications.
Nah.
Blake can cut off Deadpool's head. That's about it.
And that could happen.
I'm cool with that one.
Yeah.
That could definitely happen. They'll both be rated R.
Yeah. But they also did a little sneak peek into the future
What else?
in a blurb that Fantastic Four and X-Men.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, that's what I was getting to.
We knew that.
They said they're working on Fantastic Four, and they said he's working on mutants. That's how he said it.
They're not calling it X-Men, which is a good thing.
Yeah, you know why they're not
Why is
calling
that a
it?
good thing?
Yeah, they're distancing themselves from the other shit. Obviously.
Oh, I actually thought it was because he was trying to be politically correct.
No, dude. He's
And-
distancing
and-
himself
and
from
not
the
call
other
them-
bullshit.
Not call them men. Just call them
Nah,
mutants.
I don't think. It's good. Dude, if you
Nah,
think
they're
about
not gonna
it,
do that.
X-Men has been going on since the year 2000. Everybody knows X-Men.
The name is too iconic.
So then he has to differentiate himself from that bullshit,
So-
especially with the trash that Dark Phoenix was.
So, are you saying that when they finally get integrated into the MCU, they're not going to be called X-Men? What do you mean?
no, there's the mutants, and then they have a team of X-Men. They're not. It's not. The movie's not gonna be called X-Men.
It's going to be
It's gonna
called.
be called mutants. 1, 2, 3, whatever. And inside that movie, there's a team of
That's
X-Men.
ridiculous. Mutants.
Yeah.
I don't want to see mutants. I want to see the X-Men.
So instead
Yeah,
of,
but
so
the name
instead
of the
watching
movie's called Mutants, and then the movie's about the X-Men, but the movie title's called Mutants to separate themselves
That's
from all the other.
ridiculous.
So instead of
bullshit.
watching Avengers, we're going to watch Humans.
Right? I mean, you might as well. It doesn't make any sense.
I know where you're getting at,
Humans
Armando,
and
but-
gods. Okay. No.
it
Call
does.
the
It makes
fucking
complete
X-Men.
sense, dude.
Doesn't make any
Because you, as Kevin Feige, just want nobody to ever think about what came before. You get what I'm saying? They don't want to think, oh, is James McAvoy coming back, or is Patrick Stewart coming back, or if any of these motherfuckers from the Fox property
or
ever coming
Hugh
back.
Jackman.
Or Hugh Jackman. He needs to separate his property from everything that came before it. And the only way to do that is to call it something different.
Well, we'll see.
The X-Men will be there, and they'll still be
They're
called
gonna be called the
X-Men.
X-Men. I don't
But the
buy
movie's
this.
gonna be called Mutants. So people won't be like, "Hey, did you see the new X-Men?" Like, no. Well, what do you mean? The Fox ones?
I mean, they didn't care about that for Spidey. They still called this shit
Right?
Spidey.
But it's
They just gave it a subtitle,
yeah,
Homecoming.
exactly.
All right, they can do that with X-Men.
Yeah.
They're not gonna do
Even
it.
though X-Men has subtitles out the ass right now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna do that.
And they had one where they didn't even call it X-Men. They just called it Dark Phoenix. And they just put an X in the O.
They can just throw in Uncanny, Spectacular, or maybe throw in one of those things in the
The Uncanny
title.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Uncanny right there, which is the OG name. Uncanny Mutants. Wouldn't sound right.
Yeah.
Nah, Uncanny Mutants. Who
Exactly.
are those guys? No, I
Exactly.
don't want to see those guys.
That shit sounds straight out of the 40s.
It makes sense to me, man.
We'll see.
The name recognition is too important for the X-Men.
Not for MCU.
It is to a certain extent. Bigger names draw in bigger eyes.
It's just like saying Guardians of the Galaxy when it first came out. The bigger name draws in bigger. No, nigga, everybody just goes to see the MCU movie.
Yeah,
They don't give a
but
fuck what's it's called.
the more recognizable names are still a bigger draw.
I see where you're coming from, but
Guardians versus Spider-Man.
But
Spider-Man's gonna draw more people.
I do see what Kevin Feige is seeing, and he doesn't want nobody to fucking
I can understand.
correlate
that.
his movies to the other ones.
Especially how bad people feel burned with fucking Dark Phoenix. I can understand not wanting to attach yourself too closely.
And
to
it's
those guys.
unfortunate that it really was that bad.
Yeah.
Like it really was. But I mean, that's about it for our
Yeah, man.
Phase
That
4
was awesome.
and possible Phase 5 announcements.
Yeah. Of course, Phase 5, you're going to have Captain Marvel 2. You're going to have Guardians 3.
You're gonna have Black Panther 2.
Black Panther 2. So you have a lot of heavy hitters in Phase 5.
Oh, I totally forgot to mention this. So
That's
for
good.
WandaVision, one of the characters that they're going to introduce is Monica Rambeau. They got an actress, grown up,
Monica Rambeau. Oh,
Which is
that's
the
the
little
girl from Captain
Photon?
Marvel.
Is that Photon?
Photon.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently she goes through a lot of names, but Photon is one of them. Yeah. So she's going to be in WandaVision. I don't know how that's going to tie
She'll probably end
into
up
it.
getting her powers in that movie. In that show.
WandaVision.
Yeah. Of
She was
all
in
the
Captain Marvel?
she was in she was a little girl in Captain
Doesn't make
Marvel.
any sense. I mean, they'll make it make sense.
They'll
but
make it.
right now.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It's
It
random
doesn't.
that of all the shows, it's that one. But
Yeah.
I mean,
It is very random.
so that was definitely one of the what the fuck moments in the panel when I saw that they introduced her and everything. Hey, we'll be in WandaVision. What?
I have no idea. Like I'm trying to think about how the fuck can they make her make sense in that show, and I don't even.
I don't
see
know.
It.
It's such a
Yeah.
random character
It
to
is
put
a
in.
very random character.
But there it is. So that's obviously going to be a segue into her being into Captain Marvel 2, grown up
Yeah.
as whatever fucking character she's going
It
to be.
is going to be a lot better to have the shows actually tie into the movies, though.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. For once.
This is what we always wanted out of out of the Netflix shit.
And
Yeah.
you
Instead of
think
just saying the event.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if you think about it, that it is like a pun intended, the blade into the
Horrible
Netflix
pun.
shows, because Mahershala was Cottonmouth in the Netflix shows. So in
Right.
MCU continuity, none of the shows ever existed to them.
Right. Yeah,
They
that's
can be
straight.
part of the multiverse.
Nah, they don't exist.
There's a multiverse with them in there.
Kevin Feige hates the TV division so much that he doesn't give a fuck about those MCU those Netflix shows.
But he understands what made them good and what made people like the show.
And I bet you he's gonna use that.
Which is
for him.
exactly. He's going to be like, okay, cool. I'm still erasing that from the face of the earth, but I'll use what worked.
Yeah. Which I hope, if anything ever stays the same from the shows to the MCU, is Kingpin. I would love to see him in the MCU.
When I was a boy.
I don't think so. They're not using anybody.
Can you imagine him telling, talking to Peter Parker with one of those speeches,
Oh
and
my
he's
God.
like, "Oh God,
Scared
I
as
don't know,
fuck.
King."
But if you think about it,
That would be amazing.
that would be
When
amazing.
I was a boy.
But if you think about it, they
Well,
brought back J.J. Jameson, dude. All right, that is huge.
It's not- okay, it's huge, but it's not.
Dude, you cannot say that's not that huge. It is.
It
Fucking
is
big.
huge,
It's
but
major.
you make it seem like there's no risk in bringing him back as JJ. There's
Oh.
no downside unless he does a terrible job.
But he's not. He's
Yeah,
such a
not-
great actor.
He's an
Well,
amazing actor.
What makes it huge is that it's from the original trilogy. They're bringing back the same actor to play the same exact character.
Yeah, he's the best guy for
And-
the job.
Fuck yeah, dude, he is. But it's huge though. Like I would have never thought they would do that.
No,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't. Yeah,
Like
definitely.
at this point, Kevin Feige just swinging his dick, dude, and doing whatever the fuck he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like
He's
I
got
don't give a fuck
what,
about
how many $3 billion movies? $4 billion.
He's got $1 billion sized dick. He can swing around.
He can swing that shit
he can
all
swing
around
that
America, all around the world.
yeah, dude. I mean, it's insane. I'll tell you how much. What is the billions he has right now?
I'm sure it's a lot.
It is. He has Fuck, where is it?
Now that you're looking for that, how do you feel about the rumor that I don't know if we talked about it on the last one that Kraven the Hunter will be a Wakandan?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I'm excited. He's gonna be black.
I mean,
I'm excited.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor.
It just
They want him to be someone from Wakanda.
it automatically makes sense,
and that why he gets the tech and he's able to hunt them down because Spidey's on the run now.
It fits.
It fits perfectly,
It fits
right?
perfectly. I'd never even considered that, but
Yeah.
that fits
So
perfectly.
one of these artists that I follow that always does the fan casting that ends up becoming true. He did the Bushmaster actor as Kraven.
Nah, they leave him in the Netflix show.
Oh, but you got Mahershala as Blade,
That's true.
so it doesn't fucking matter.
Actually, I mean, I like that season anyways. I like Bushmaster.
Yeah, I really like them too. So you're like, yeah, these.
Damn, Kraven be a Wakandan?
That's good.
I'm here for that.
So the MCU has $9 billion movies.
There you go.
And one of them is the highest grossing movie of all time now.
Yep. Beat Avatar. Even James Cameron was like, shit.
Right?
You better step it up, James
Gave him
Cameron.
that thank you.
I think it was at first I didn't think it was gonna beat Star Wars, but then fuck, that movie just kept climbing.
I know,
And then once they put it back in, it was
inevitable.
Yeah, it was a sealed deal.
The MCU is inevitable.
I actually didn't think it was gonna make it.
I mean, I
I
didn't think it was gonna make it.
I
Now,
did
when
not-
they put it back in theaters, I knew it was
when they put it back, I saw that it kind of flopped.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of people really watched it. And I'm like, oh, I guess it didn't make it. And then suddenly the numbers came in, and I'm like, oh, I guess people.
That's crazy.
yeah.
I guess people just kept bringing back their family to watch it.
Yeah.
Because
it's pretty cool, man.
Their effort to bring it back in was so half-assed. They
It
put in a
was.
scene that wasn't finished. I already talked about that, but it was just half-assed.
That the effort was very half-assed.
Super half-assed.
But you know what?
They
It
did
gave him that.
Yeah.
But
Number
yeah,
one all time.
they didn't have to do that much,
Yeah.
and they got their billion. But I was surprised that you guys think that was the peak.
That's the peak.
I don't think that's the peak.
Yeah. Endgame. Do you think another movie's gonna make
No.
that much
Absolutely.
like that
Really?
big crossover wise?
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
think another
When they-
movie's gonna reach?
I think when Phase
Wow.
5, whatever they do in Phase 5,
When they introduce Fantastic and Mutants?
yeah. When they have everyone now, because I mean we felt like they had everyone before, but now they'll actually have everyone.
I don't know.
X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Avengers, and you don't think
That's
There's
if
no
this,
way.
That's if this so-called what are they calling it? Superhero fatigue doesn't kick in by then.
we thought it would kick in by now?
We sure did.
It's been what 10 years?
I'll
11
agree
years?
with that. I definitely thought it would have hit before, but now with Endgame, I'm almost sure this is it.
No, and I started to feel the superhero fatigue pre-Infinity War. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
remember.
Infinity War was the first one.
I started to feel superhero
And
fatigue.
then Endgame came out.
And then no, Infinity War came out. That shit was amazing. And then Endgame came out with the best superhero movie ever.
It was.
It was.
So if the movie's that good, they can top it. They can do this. They can do this again.
Well, like you've always said, Pedro, and we've always said here in the podcast, as long as they keep changing up the genre, nobody will ever get bored of it. So like,
But they have a good handle on that though. They know what they're doing.
yeah, like Black Widow
But Black
is gonna
Widow's
be a
gonna-
spy movie.
It's gonna be.
It has to be.
Kind of like how Winter Soldier
Absolutely.
was.
And Winter Soldier was their best movie ever, in my opinion.
Not better than Endgame, but okay.
Yeah, but it was a fantastic.
But I can
movie.
see why people say it was an amazing movie.
So if they and then they're saying Doctor Strange 2 is gonna be a scary movie or like whatever,
horror,
horror movie. So like if they keep changing the genres on these movies, hopefully
It's somewhat
Shang-Chi is gonna be an Asian
martial
a
arts
martial arts movie.
superhero
You know what I'm
film.
saying? Like that's gonna be pretty cool. So
It
like,
lessens the superhero fatigue when they're constantly like reinventing what a superhero is or
Yeah.
what a superhero movie is.
yeah,
Definitely.
exactly. So as long as they do that, they'll probably survive.
You
And
have these small little pockets to do whatever they want or whatever,
Yeah.
and then have the big event one every so often.
well, yeah, for sure. But I feel like what was the Pedro that they were saying that they're not gonna be their Endgame is never gonna happen again in the MCU.
They said that.
What? What do you mean?
That Endgame is not gonna happen anymore. Like nothing will ever be that big for the MCU.
Wait, they said that?
Yeah, you don't remember that article? Oh man,
No.
we've talked about this plenty of times.
No, I don't remember that.
On the podcast?
No,
I mean,
personally.
that was me thinking that, but I didn't think anyone
No,
officially said
they
that.
They came out and said that. Don't you remember that Kevin Feige said that these next few phases are just gonna be like
Oh,
they're
right.
gonna be
Yeah.
Smaller.
They're
Oh,
smaller.
smaller. They're gonna be smaller
Right.
stories. They're not gonna be a 10-year colossal movie that ends in one big colossal movie.
Yeah. I mean,
they're gonna be small. They're gonna be small chapters.
right. I get that,
There's not gonna be
but let's
anything
say
big.
they eventually bring in Galactus, where everyone needs to fight him. You don't think it'll be Endgame?
I don't think they're gonna do that anytime soon.
I know.
Not anytime soon. I
Obviously.
agree.
And they're not gonna do what they did for the first 4 phases. They're not gonna. I mean, first 3 phases. They're not gonna do that anymore.
Right. I know that.
So
I
there.
get
So
that.
it's not like Thanos was introduced so long
Yeah,
ago.
but they don't need to do like a 10-year span of movies that lead up to. They can do 2 years, 3 years that lead up to one big movie. They don't have to do this long, somewhat intricate kind of stories and movies at the end
Yeah.
of every fucking credit.
That's what I'm saying. An Endgame is not gonna happen though. Like it's not gonna be 10 years of build up. You're never gonna have Endgame again.
Yeah, but they don't need 10 years of build up. They can have a few years of build up
Oh,
and still have an amazing movie.
Yeah. So they
Yeah,
could-
for sure.
that
But
tops
there's
Endgame.
never gonna be an Endgame though.
but you could do an Endgame in 3 years, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's never gonna be Endgame though. It'll be what is it? An Ultron, Avengers Ultron or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, they got together. Cool. It's never gonna be Endgame. It's never gonna be Avengers, the first Avengers, when you first see all these heroes together. You're like, oh shit, this is amazing.
That's not what they didn't say. They're never going to have everyone together again. They just said it's never going to be Endgame level, which makes sense. 'cause
That's what I'm
a
saying.
lot.
Like you'll never have an Endgame. That's what I'm telling you. You'll never have that. You'll have an Ultron, but you'll never have Endgame.
I don't know what your argument is.
That you'll have like Endgame is a culmination of 10 years of movies.
I agree.
Ultron is no culmination of no movies. It's just Avengers teaming up to do something.
But if they do a Galactus movie,
It'll be like Ultron. It was just them getting together to do something. It'll
Nah,
never
I
be
think they'll
Endgame.
I don't think they'll have anything as massive as Endgame. But
you
they'll
guys are
have
saying the
things-
same thing I'm saying.
The same thing to a lesser. I still think it'll be multiple movies leading up to one. Is what I'm saying.
yeah.
I just don't think it's gonna be
Story
100
arcs.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 or 4 movies leading up to one villain. Like maybe they set up Doctor Doom in a few movies and then bam, he's there. That's
Yeah.
not Ultron, because Ultron was one and done. And it's not Thanos, because Thanos was 10 years, like you said. But it's 5 years.
There's a happy medium in there. That they
Yeah.
can do.
So you're right in a way. There isn't a 10-year endgame, but there's a 5-year endgame.
But I don't think any movie will ever be Endgame. It'll just be Ultron's to me. All the next Avengers they ever have is gonna be an Ultron.
Yeah, but Ultron's didn't have 5 years of setup, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be big though. I think it's just gonna be like, hey, let's take like Doom is a big villain, but Doom is more like a Loki to me than a big and like you know what I'm saying. Loki was
He had
an
his
Avengers
own country, and he's got to war with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
He's huge.
And he literally turned into a god.
Yeah, but I
where he fought as Guardians. He's pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
the biggest thing they have is Galactus, dude,
They have plenty of other people that they can use.
and maybe even Dormammu. If anything, if you think about it, Dormammu is a fucking massive.
Yeah, maybe.
So you think they would
think
do
about
a one and done Galactus movie? No.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
I
no,
think so.
absolutely
Galactus
not.
is too big of a threat.
I think maybe Guardians would mention there's something eating a world over there, and then next year they'll fight Galactus. Like I don't think it's gonna be something.
Right, but when you say they, you mean everyone's going to fight Galactus, not just the Fantastic Four. Like the Guardians will jump in for that fight. Captain Marvel will jump in for
The
that
space
fight.
people for sure.
Wakanda will jump in for
I
that
don't think
fight.
Wakanda would do it. I think it's just to be the space fight.
There's a big ass dude eating the world, and Wakanda ain't gonna fight.
I think
Wakanda
it'll be a
are
space
their
fight.
foot soldiers.
They got people
That's
in
the
space.
red shirts.
That's the reason.
It's true. They need people to die. Just send Wakanda over there.
Every
Wow,
time they-
dude, you want Wakandans to die?
That's what
fucked up,
they're
dude.
doing.
That's fucked up,
Of
Mike.
all places they could
That's
have
fucked up,
fought
Mike.
Thanos, they said, hey, you know what? We're in Wakanda. Let's bring everyone here and die.
Well, if you think about it, that battle was because they were trying to get a stone, not because they chose Wakanda to attack. They just wanted to get the stone, and
They
they
could've
happened
went
to be in
somewhere else.
Wakanda.
They could have been like, you know what? There's a lot of people here. Maybe we should do this somewhere else, guys.
All right.
Nah.
Anyways,
Anyways, that's Phase 4 and possibly Phase 5.
yeah,
You guys hyped for Phase 5? Am I the only one more excited for Phase 5?
well, I'm definitely excited for Phase
Phase
5.
5 is the safe bet. Phase 4 is experimental. I'm excited to see the experiment. But obviously, I'm more excited for Phase 5.
Okay. I'm excited for parts of Phase 4.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. What was the other one?
I'm curious
Thor.
to see how they're going to integrate the shows with the movies and vice versa.
Very curious to see that.
And this is what that experiment is about. So
Yeah.
very excited to see and what consequence it has to future movies.
I wonder if it forces you to watch all these shows. Like if you're a casual
Oh
MCU
my
fan,
God. I already hate watching fucking Arrow and Flash and Legends and Arrow and Flash and Legends.
But they're all like 10 seasons long. These are going to be 8 episodes. They're going to be quick.
That's
miniseries.
true.
but that's, my question is like people like a casual MCU fan. What if they don't get
A
Disney
casual
Plus?
MCU fan went to Infinity War only seeing Black Panther first, and they were fine.
That's true.
So
They're not gonna make it overly complicated.
Only the completionists like us are gonna go and watch all of them. The regular person is just gonna watch what they give a shit about.
They know how to balance that so people who watch the movies aren't like, wait, what? Huh? What just happened?
Spider-Man fans only saw Spider-Man and Endgame. Pretty much everyone watched Endgame, Infinity
I think
War.
they did that different though with Far From Home, because if you hadn't seen Captain Marvel, then who the fuck are these aliens?
Yeah.
That's the only time I think. I mean, it was still good, but whatever.
Yeah, you'll just say, what the fuck? And then you'll ask somebody, what is that? Oh, you haven't seen Captain Marvel? And they're like, oh, I haven't. And then they'll watch Captain Marvel. So it's really just advertising each other.
I need to talk to someone who's seen
It's
Far From Home and not Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's pretty much that asterisk in comics. Remember where they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I fought on Earth last week," and they'll say asterisk, and it's like, "Read this," and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. That's exactly what that is.
That shit is so helpful though.
It really is. I'm doing that a lot now that I'm reading Jonathan Hickman's thing.
Yeah.
Like Nick Fury got captured and tortured, and the next issue he was okay, and it's like, oh, like I got out, and it says Thunderbolts issue 137. I'm like, well, shit.
Time to go read Thunderbolts.
And I read Thunderbolts. I'm like, oh, that's how he broke out. And then I went back.
That shit, yeah, that's just a lifesaver.
So that's essentially what's going on here. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right, ladies and gents. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know your thoughts about Phase 4 MCU. Are you excited about it?
I am.
What is the one project that excites you the most?
Doctor Strange.
I give it like a 3 out of 5. Phase 4 right now, my excitement level.
3 out of 5.
That means you like it.
That means you like it.
Okay, cool.
Marvel can't do any wrong.
So, what's your most excited project then?
I told you, Doctor Strange.
Damn, we're all in accordance here.
Doctor Strange.
It's the title alone sounds
It's
amazing.
so fucking good.
Multiverse, and they're bringing Scarlet Witch, which
Oh
actually
my
is probably going to be
God.
powered up.
Oh
Awesome.
my God.
Yeah, you got me sold.
What a great title.
It would have been Thor, but it's just
Benedict fucking Cumberbatch, man.
and Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing.
Ah, man, what a great title. I can't get over that shit.
Multiverse
Let us
of
know if you
Madness.
agree with us. Is Doctor Strange 2 your movie you're looking forward to the most? Let us know. You can follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Instagram and Facebook. We post shit. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify. A-List, we love you. Till next time.
Bye-bye.
Outro.